Welcome to Raptor Corp. Today, I'll pit the two strongest Mega Pokemon up against each other. On one corner is Mega Zygarde, one of the Megas introduced in Legend ZA. It has the highest special attack out of any Pokemon to have ever existed, and also boasts one of the highest HP stats to boot. And in the other corner is Mega Rayquaza, my favorite Pokemon of all time, and arguably the strongest one as well. It boasts good stats across the board, 180 in both attacking stats and a respectable 115 speed. It was considered so good that it was banned from Uber and was placed in a tier specifically made for it. That tier being called Anything Goes. So grab a snack as I discuss who will win in a fight, the protector of the ecosystem or the ruler of the skies. Starting off with Mega Zygarde, you can easily upscale them up from Zygarde's 100% complete form, which can reach high universe levels of attack potency by upscaling from the Necrozma, which is able to absorb all the light of the Ultra Space, which is likely infinite in size due to containing all the Ultra Wormholes. Furthermore, Necrozma also absorbs all the light out of either Solgaleo or Lunala to activate their Dusk Moon or Dawn Wing form. Since Lunala and Solgaleo both contain limitless energy, this is more evidence that Necrozma scales to high universe attack potency, and since Zygarde beat Necrozma, Zygarde should scale to this too. Since we're using upscaling from Necrozma for attack potency, we can also use Necrozma for Zygarde speed. This means that Zygarde should at the very least scale up to massively faster than light speeds, due to Necrozma being comparable to Solgaleo and Lunala, because thousands of light years and mere seconds to reach Ultra Wormholes. Necrozma's light can also cross all of Ultra Space, which is likely infinite in size as stated before. And since it should be able to fight and travel to comparable to said speeds, there is an argument that Necrozma has infinite speed due to its light being able to travel in an infinite amount of space in a finite amount of time. Zygarde also possesses many abilities such as Flight, Earth Manipulation, Telepathy, Draconic Energy Manipulation, the ability to increase stats, Force Field Creation, immunity to electric attacks, and resistance to poison, rock, and fire attacks. However, it is weak to Dragon and Fairy type attacks, and is especially weak to Ice type attacks. For intelligence, they normally possess below average intelligence, capable of coherent speech between other Pokemon, the ability to understand commands and social situations, and can solve puzzles. However, they are mostly driven by instinct. In battle, this is an entirely different story, as Zygarde should have gifted levels of intelligence in battle, due to being superior to Machamp, who has mastered all forms of martial arts, and Alakazam, which is said to have 5,000 IQ. Will Mega Rayquaza have what it takes to beat Zygarde? Let's find out right now. Now it's time to cover Mega Rayquaza and see what he can bring to the table. At first look, it doesn't appear to come anywhere close to Mega Zygarde's power. Its best attack potency feat is destroying a gigantic meteor that Deoxys is pushing, which only scales up to planetary levels of attack potency. Although this is still impressive, it doesn't come anywhere close to Mega Zygarde's high universal attack potency. This doesn't even take into factor Mega Zygarde's speed, as although Mega Rayquaza can also get to massively faster than light speeds, it doesn't have the potential to have infinite speed feats like Mega Zygarde has. The worst part about this power gap is that neither Mega Rayquaza nor regular Rayquaza has fought any opponents that could get him to high universal levels. So is this it? Is Mega Rayquaza simply doomed to lose against Mega Zygarde? Not quite. Although Mega Rayquaza nor any of his opponents have fought other Pokemon that scale to high universal levels, there is still a way to get Mega Rayquaza up to high universal feats of strength. Deoxys have fought against base Mewtwo and won. Although this may not seem significant, as base Mewtwo only scales up to planetary levels, Mewtwo does have a Mega form, which can also scale up to high universal level, while due to fighting against Zygarde's 15% form, which makes it comparable to Necrozma and therefore places it in high universal levels of attack potency, and also gives a potential infinite speed feat. But how does this relate to Mega Rayquaza, you may ask? Well, since base Rayquaza performed much better against Deoxys than base Mewtwo did, it can be assumed that Mega Rayquaza is stronger than Mega Mewtwo. So now that we've established that Mega Rayquaza is at the same attack potency and speed tier as Mega Zygarde, what are their abilities? I'm glad you asked. Because just like Mega Zygarde, Mega Rayquaza also has many abilities such as Flight, even in outer space. It creates strong winds by its very presence, which makes his ice weakness less severe, removes his rock weakness, and makes him resistant to electric type attacks. Besides this, he has a weakness to Dragon and Fairy type attacks, and also has resistance to water, grass, fire, bug, and fighting type attacks, as well as an immunity to ground type attacks. He has the same intelligence as Zygarde, who normally possesses below average intelligence, capable of coherent speech between other Pokemon, the ability to understand commands and social situations, and can solve puzzles, but are mostly driven by instinct. However, they have gifted levels of intelligence in battle due to being superior to Machamp, who has mastered all forms of martial arts, and Alakazam, which is stated to have 5,000 IQ. Now that I've covered that, let's see who would win in a fight to the death. Mega Zygarde floats around the mountainside, looking for Rayquaza, who is now causing a rampage due to undergoing a rogue Mega Evolution. Suddenly, Mega Rayquaza rapidly dives down from the sky. However, Mega Zygarde moves out of the way. Mega Rayquaza then faces towards Mega Zygarde and attempts to fire off a Hyper Beam. However, Mega Zygarde counters this with a Nihil Light. The two beings briefly clash over dominance before causing a giant explosion, sending them both flying back. Both get up at around the same time with Mega Rayquaza flying towards Mega Zygarde. Zygarde summons 1,000 bright arrows in the sky. Rayquaza attempts to dodge, but ends up getting hit by some of them, being knocked to the ground. However, just as swiftly as they were knocked down to the ground, they flew back up, attempting to fire an Ice Beam at Mega Zygarde. Zygarde was unable to move out of the way in time and got severely damaged. Recognizing this, Mega Rayquaza attempted to fire off another beam, but Mega Zygarde dodged in time, firing off another Nihil Light. But Mega Rayquaza dodged the attack, their serpentine body coiling around the beam before charging at Mega Zygarde's body, sending him away and causing him to crash into a mountain. Mega Rayquaza roared, summoning draconic meteors from the sky, and Mega Zygarde charged up another Nihil Light. After firing off the attack, Mega Rayquaza tried to deflect it by using a second Hyper Beam. However, the Nihil Light managed to overpower the Hyper Beam, vaporizing Mega Rayquaza. The winner of this fight is Mega Zygarde, and some of you may have already seen it coming. It's pretty hard to beat an opponent who has a 200 base power attack that's super effective against you. Even though Mega Rayquaza is my favorite Pokemon of all time, I will have to give the win to Mega Zygarde. Not only did I have to wank Mega Rayquaza up heavily to make it a fair fight, as without it, it would have been an absolute massacre, I also simply think even when highballing Mega Rayquaza, Mega Zygarde is simply superior. Even in a non-Mega form, Zygarde is already quite powerful, being able to beat Ultra Necrozma in his 100% form and putting up a good fight in his 50% form. So giving him a Mega form to further boost his already ridiculous attack potency and durability is a recipe for a win against Mega Rayquaza. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. With that, Raptor out.